got what it takes?
Oh man, do we make it look so easy? We've been making it look too easy.
Y'all gonna hate me for this one. Dive right into the Spider-Verse.
I'm coming in on the next verse. Bars,
Gonna
cars.
have to take me out in a hearse. About to give you the worst.
I just see her stole a purse.
Beerman bitch, she got a brown worse.
And now I'm coming out the Spider-Verse.
All my lies are a curse. I'ma steal a bitch's purse.
Yo.
Don't call me, I'm the worst. Fucking Gwen Stacy all night. Got up, so she's all tight.
She got the ballerina shoes all tight. I'ma shoot my webs down your asshole. Loop it up just like a rap hole. Fit it in nice with the asshole.
Miles Morales got a Puerto Rican dick, but he's also black, so it's big.
Extra spicy with the Puerto Rican. When it's icy in the Puerto Rican.
My daddy is a picnic.
5-0. My daddy's a cop, and I'm a top.
And I wanna fuck him.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to the American Meme Podcast. This is your host, Joe, here with my co-host, Vincent. He's got the aviators on. He's looking very cool, very serious.
They called me the Fed Boy.
But last episode, worst episode, it's been a hot minute.
Not even out yet.
It's not even out. Will I release it? Yes, I will. But this episode, though, we're
gonna spice things up a bit.
We're spicing things up. We brought in the big guns. We've brought in our
We saw the views. We saw they were dropping. We saw, that we need to add a new character to the mix.
It's time to spice things up in a big way, and we've done that here by adding our new co-host. Everybody, welcome McFatticus. Matticus, how are you today?
Wait. First off, tell us what do you do? Who are you?
I'm Matticus.
What do you do?
I just do me, dude.
Now, Matticus, what is your favorite music genre right now?
My favorite music genre?
Yeah. Okay, let's back that up. We've got a new co-host today introducing Matticus. Matticus, how are you?
Thank you. It's good to be here. Thanks, Josiah.
Matticus. Now, Matticus. Now, who is Matticus? What is he about? Well, I'll tell you this. He's a music lover. He knows all of your modern genres. Okay. Who's that music guy that everybody listens to?
Jeff Buckley.
No. The critic.
Anthony Fantano.
Fantano, get the fuck out of here, dude. We got...
You fucking melon-headed son of a bitch. You fucking cracker. You no good fucking faggot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Why don't you just... You know what? We don't even need you anymore because we got fucking McFatticus Froliculus. Okay. Up in his bitch.
Now, I will say
He's about to
Fantano.
wipe the floor with Fantano and his shiny ass head.
I will say about Fantano.
I'm glad his wife left him.
He got divorced?
Yeah, that fucking bitch-ass
Fucking bitch-ass nigga.
Yeah, we like the suffering of others.
Yeah.
Now, I do like Fantano's musical points. He's just out of irrelevance anymore. He's out of relevance.
What? Like, it's like what? Like, who listens to Fantano and
Logic.
And why?
Logic-looking niggas.
Is it the Logic Bros?
Yeah.
Logic fans?
Yeah.
A lot of music lovers and appreciators listen to Fantano daily. I'm not one of them.
Yeah, like who is the crowd? Like who wants to listen? Who is like, ooh, new Fantano review?
I think it's the
I need to see what
the normie Coachella crowd. That they think music is cool as an aesthetic. And so they want to see all these interesting like tiny desk bands.
It's those guys with the vinyls hanging on their walls. The guys who are not like other men, not like other girls. The people who have no personality whatsoever, who feel the need to compensate by having musical jargon just kind of protrude from their mouth holes. Honestly, I think they're the worst kind of people. I saw the appeal at some point. I understood. He talked about music like nobody else did. But once that shit kind of ran dry and he was giving out bad scores to the music I like, I had to drop him. I watched the Sam Hyde music video where he's destroying him. you need to watch that. It's great.
Is it a song?
Yeah.
Nice. Let's go. But so like, because there's a similar thing that exists on the movie side, but it's just so like, it's so diverse where like, cause like there's nobody who's like,
it almost feels like Fantano kind of has the monopoly on the music review and the music interview.
It does feel a little bit like that where there's only like a couple like music.
I don't know anybody. Honestly, I don't.
There's
really
a couple. I've seen reactors. I've seen like
but
react channels.
Those are more endearing. I like those a bit better. I can settle and stand for those.
But some of them have followings where it's like, oh, you know, what do they think? Like people want to know what they think of this or that album or whatever track or whatever.
Yeah.
Classic or new. Which the same thing exists on, like in my domain of movie YouTube, but it's so diverse and there is a couple big guys where it's like, okay, there are stands of this or that critic, but you know, it's not like cross platforms, you know, where like there are Twitter people, there are people on Twitter who watch Fantano who are defending his takes or whatever, you know what I mean? So it just seems like more of a uniparty over there. But Matticus, I mean, there really is there anybody else big like that in the music critic space?
I mean, there's plenty of music critics, but I don't really keep up with them. In my mind, it's more like I kind of treat them like celebrities that do make like high quality movies and music.
They're influencers, right?
Essentially, they're influencers of a different level. But at the same time, it's like those critics that critique those movies and music, it's like that is their own individual opinion that I don't need to agree with. So rather than...
But are you interested in hearing their...
No, honestly, no. Because for me...
Not even to affirm what you already like a little bit. Maybe like you want to see like a review of something you just listened to. Maybe.
Yeah, like if everybody's trashing some new album and Fantano liked it, and then you want to see like, okay, let me watch.
No.
Okay.
No. So for me with music, like if I listen to an album I like a whole lot, I'm not going to listen to any reviews or opinions and critiques because for me, music is my own subjective experience.
Right.
And it's like an emotional thing for me. So if I listen to like a This Will Destroy You album, I'm going to make my own associations with it and not really care like what the general consensus is.
So is there a place for discourse on music?
Usually the discourse in music is like band drama. Like an artist does this or that. Dance Gavin Dance is a classic example of just music drama.
Is that the discourse you want? Is that the level of discourse you want in the music industry?
No. So for me personally, with my music tastes, somehow most bands I listen to or have listened to are non-problematic for some reason. And I've just lucked out with that. Like Gojira, they have no problems. Mastodon, no non-problematic.
You talking about
as far as I know.
Like the band members?
Yeah, because like the band members, they'll like some can have like an agenda or do something. Like somebody will get arrested. Somebody's like on tour doing horrendous things.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. People getting canceled, basically.
Yeah, people getting canceled.
Let me ask you this: what do you think of Phil Labonte? All That Remains. Anti-communist revolutionary.
Oh yeah, he's on Tim Pool and libertarian. He's like a libertarian, right?
I think that All That Remains fell with the fall of Ideals. That is their one good album. 2 Weeks. No, 2 Weeks is a song. It's not an album. I'm more of an album person, so I really like the fall of Ideals, but I don't really keep up with the band personally.
That is something. Yeah, I know. Like you like.
I like concepts.
Like an album concept where the whole thing kind of is feeding into some big idea or something.
Our artists can make good and bad music, but they can have an incredible album.
Let me ask you, this actually is once was a musical podcast at some point in time before he started fucking whores. What do you think of the No Jumper podcast?
The No Jumper podcast, I'm under NDA and cannot disclose any information on that.
Have you know anything about this? You know anything about the No Jumper podcast? Adam 22.
I know the guy is a porn star.
Well, he used to like kind of like infiltrate like hip hop music scenes back in the day and like kind of like talk about it, like write about it and shit like that.
Well, yeah, like underground music scenes.
Right.
Yeah. He was like, that's what Gavin McInnes wanted to do, which he would have been way fucking better at it than this guy.
I think Adam 22 needs to fucking kill himself.
Why? Just because he has threesomes every week?
I think he's a fucking sexual pervert, and I heard he fucking fucked like 17-year-olds.
Why are all these guys all sexual deviance leads to pedophilia?
It's just like it almost seems like the natural conclusion. It almost seems like the natural conclusion.
A lot of trans. You know what I mean? It's like all these sexual deviants. All roads lead.
It's the extremity of sexual deviancy. It is the furthest extreme.
I guess, yeah, it's just like you just gotta, I guess the taboos, it's just the most taboo thing.
Yeah, like it's something that's
where it's
so
always
sacred.
gotta come back to that.
Yeah.
The innocence. That sucks.
Let me tell you something.
Anyway, having threesomes with your wife every week sounds awesome, though.
What about when she's fucking other guys?
Does she do that too?
I'm sure she does.
Well, I mean, there's always got to be a catch.
Would you date a porn star?
Yes, I would.
Would you marry one?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Would you date a chick who had an OnlyFans?
Sure.
Would you marry him?
No, I don't like whores. I'm trying to stay away from them.
But enough to date him, though, right?
I guess when I mean date, I mean just have multiple sex sessions throughout a time period.
Right.
Dating to me means nothing. And don't try to catch me on that one. Don't try to check me on that one.
I haven't dated in 8 years.
That's a lie. You're such a liar, Matt. You're such a fucking liar. You remember that girl who was here? Who wouldn't leave?
Yeah, I was like, that was not 8 years ago.
That was a squatter.
Hey,
Can you tell us a story about her?
That counts. You nutted.
Can you tell us a story?
So there's a difference between a relationship and the 3-month fling. Most people nowadays, they have these 3-month relationships, and then they move on to the next 3 month, maybe 6 months.
You think that's porn? You think porn's fucking us up?
Yes.
Okay, think about it. The male mind seems to be engineered toward a level of novelty and exploration.
Yes.
Naturally. Now, if you can call me if I'm wrong, just let me know if I'm wrong, please. I mean, I'm a man, so I think I know a thing or two about my sexual drive. Now, I like to think I have a hypersexual. I don't think people need to know this, but I think I'm a very hypersexual guy.
Every guy thinks that.
But
every guy thinks that they have it unusually high.
Yeah, it's probably just normal.
It's probably just normal.
If anything, it might be slightly below.
Possibly.
Yeah. So I think
definitely lower than previous generations. I would imagine.
Statistically, yes.
Like processed foods, like chemicals. No,
statistically,
and shit.
yes. Men are losing their virginity later and later in life if they do it at all.
I heard that millennials had less sex than than Gen X or whatever.
Well, it's because because of
the relevance.
There's a lot of factors involved with that, like the financial crisis going on,
microplastics
in the bloodstream. So you have all these factors.
Social media, I think.
Endocrine disruptors, women pissing away their birth control into the water supply, and men drinking it. Yes.
Nah.
Yes.
Is that real?
Yes. Look it up.
They can't get filtered out, or it doesn't all get filtered out.
No. I mean, if it's like 1%, that's 1% too much.
Oh yeah, over time. I mean, that's
like imagine you're pregnant and you're drinking water from the tap full of microplastics, fluoride, and pissed away birth control. Imagine how that affects the hormones in your unborn fetus. We've noticed this. We've seen this, that men have had lower testosterone. Like, I think it's like a 10% drop every 10 years. 1% a year is way too much. 2% is insane. Women are becoming infertile. I'm not saying because of vaccines, but I'm sure that doesn't help the case whatsoever.
That could be a factor too. Yeah, I don't know. We don't know the some vaccines are pretty new, and so like you have to give it to somebody and then wait till they're 80 to find out what it's going to do to you when you're 80. You know what I mean?
So how do we stop this now? That's the real question.
How do we stop the reverse?
How do we reverse this?
Well, I mean, with microplastics, that has to be regulated politically. Social media and porn, I honestly don't even think that could be, like, it could be legislated, but even that I don't think would curb it that much. I think
just make it harder to access.
Education could help if there were maybe college courses, because I don't think you're going to get any.
I don't think education helps whatsoever.
Well, that's definitely not true.
No,
teaching kids math and reading definitely helps them.
I don't think
teaching kids math and reading definitely helps.
I don't think teaching kids. Well, if we're talking about particularly about sex,
that's what I was saying. A college course. If you taught them, like, if you just let an 18-year-old know the effects that like masturbating 3, 4, 5 times a day is going to have on them. You know what I mean? Because okay, now you're 18, you're living in a dorm. You can watch as much porn as you want to, and you know what I'm saying. And so it's like,
do you think
at least if you know that this is not good for you, then at least you might curb some people's appetites a little bit.
I wish,
if they at least know that, hey, social media can create these expectations that drive anxiety and feelings of whatever, imposter syndrome or whatever, then at least you can recognize that. I mean, it's better than nothing.
Sure. But I mean, I think we grew up in a culture where we're taught that masturbation is okay, and you know what? It is. It's fine. Nothing wrong with it. Inherently,
you don't have to watch porn to masturbate.
No, you don't. But
I think there is a difference because
there is no curb. There is no. Hey, look, we live in a very sex positive culture, which I mean, I don't think is inherently bad. But on the flip side,
yes,
there is no like, for instance, like pot. Like there's like this preponderance of people saying that pot's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. You don't get withdrawal symptoms from it. It doesn't cause you to do anything stupid. I think we've done a big disservice to people by just saying that pot is not inherently dangerous. First off, if we're going to talk about like the actual genetic ramifications that may happen, for instance, if you have like any sort of predisposition genetically to schizophrenic tendencies, it could spike it. If
marijuana?
You do it yes, you could get an episode. Second, expanding your dopamine receptors to a level unforeseen. And not being able to feel any sense of enjoyment or happiness after not doing it, I think is a big problem that no one recognizes or wants to deal with or talks about. I don't hate pot. I think all drugs should be legal, but I do think that people should really speak more honestly about stuff like this. Like I think sex and masturbation. Like we should be more honest and upfront about how this could affect you psychologically and physiologically. That's just me.
I was thinking about that because like people do talk about that around alcohol a little bit,
but not nearly enough.
Right.
Well, because of driver-related deaths to alcohol.
At least because people have like an uncle maybe that goes to AA or something. You know what I mean? That is sober or had to get sober or something. And so there is that conversation around alcohol, but it's only barely starting because like it takes time for like people to actually go through that, like have problems with marijuana, have problems getting off of it, have it ruining their life, and then have struggling to get off of it, and then other family members, friends hearing about that, and then it becoming like a cultural thing because alcohol has been around for all time and is just like socially ingrained in every community. And so alcoholism is going to be a familiar sight to like every community across the globe, basically, that has alcohol. You know what I mean? But in the U.S., like this is just starting in a lot of states where like
widespread marijuana use is happening, and so that's going to create, yes, addicts.
I think,
and all of the side effects of being an addict, and then it takes time for people to hear about that, experience it, know what it looks like, and then see that, and then have the language to talk about that, you know what I mean, and the viewpoints, you know what I mean, to actually
combat it. No,
like,
the thing is,
have a conversation.
The thing
about
is, the only discourse that was surrounding any sort of drug or alcohol use has always been centered around abstinence, telling you not to do it, but not telling you why. I mean, if they did, it was usually wrapped in some sort of veil of religious fanaticism, which
I mean, AA uses a generic. It's not explicitly religious, but they do.
But
have
no,
God.
but it's not good enough.
But
That's
I
not
think-
good enough. It's not good
yeah.
enough. Saying that it's bad for you is not good enough. Telling people that if you do it, you're going to be a bad person is not good enough. We need the scientific data. We need personal experiences. We need people to talk about it more.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that marijuana isn't overtly dangerous, making you fucking murder people, I think makes it more insidious. I think it makes it more dangerous. The fact that there is not overt signs of marijuana or physiological dependency on marijuana is what makes it more dangerous. I think we have to reconcile that. I think we need to be more open and honest about the severity and how it can affect your mental state. Because I think, for me personally, it really was a demotivating thing. And you get some high highs, but no one tells you about the low lows. And people like to think that it's just depression, that it's just that's normal. It's not normal. It's not good for you. And I think, look, if you want to smoke a joint every now and again, fine, do your thing. But do I think you can be a really serious person who does it every day, every morning, every night? I'm sorry, my friends here, I don't think so. And that's
But
just
that will happen to people when it's legalized. That will happen to a lot of people.
Right, 'cause
So
they're not-
I was almost thinking, like, is it because
They're not educated.
I don't know. It's like, I guess it could. I mean, it's just different. It's different than alcohol. You know what I mean? It is a different thing, and so some people that wouldn't be like an alcoholic for whatever reason, you know what I mean? They will be susceptible to that for marijuana. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Where it's like we will create like so like what I'm saying is like legalizing it, we will create hundreds of thousands, you know, I mean untold numbers of people that like they wouldn't have been addicted to like the legal substances, you know, for whatever reason it didn't vibe with them, but marijuana will, and they will be able to get addicted to that.
Well, yeah, and they
You know
don't
what I'm saying?
They don't know their family has that predisposition for that.
Right. Where
And then they learn that they do. I was like, oh yeah.
Right. So it's like, but at that point, it's like, well, should it be legal? If you know, like, okay, I'm literally going to be creating this, I know the side effects. You know what I mean? Like, you know what's going to happen. Like, 5, 10, 15% of people are going to just, like, become addicted and, like this will, like, derail their life in some way. You know what I mean?
That'll get it put on the news.
Then they won't be as productive as they would have been.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I think. Look, I can be the quote unquote straight edge guy, even though I'm sipping on some twisted tea. Look, I can be the moral arbiter of why I think it's wrong, but I don't think it should be illegal for you to make poor life choices.
Yeah, and we're saying this like literally as I'm ripping into a bong. I mean,
No, right.
You know, so I'm not like
we're
I'm
not coming down on
I'm
anybody.
not coming down on anybody.
We think everybody
If you
should have
smoke, I smoke.
everybody should have the personal choice to choose for themselves.
Yeah.
But I think if you're honest about it and open about it, I think if
you have to acknowledge these harms.
like, well, yeah, if you're about it, you're talking about it, and people still decide to make those decisions. I mean, people smoke, people overeat, people drink to death. I think as far as I'm concerned, like as long as I mean,
That is a thing where Now, if alcoholics could become weed addicts, that would be a net good.
It would be.
That would be a net
Now, how
good.
many alcoholics are alcoholics because they can't smoke weed?
Okay, see, now the numbers do become important.
You know?
Yeah, because that actually is a net positive, you know?
As far as I'm concerned, yeah.
That actually is a net positive because alcohol is a lot worse for your body.
Heavier.
It's a lot worse for your body. Yeah. It's not quite as gentle on your body as marijuana is, as far as we can tell. Now, you know, there's probably unknown side effects of marijuana use.
Lung damage, psychological damage, like, you know, the predisposition for schizophrenia. That's psychosis. That's real.
Yes,
It's
yes.
very real.
But schizophrenia is a pretty... I think it's like less than 5% of people. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's like, it's, you know, at least we know it's not like a huge amount of the pop, you know, it's not going to be like half of people are going to be prone to, or like have this possibility of this something happening from that, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. But then, okay, so on the flip side, obviously the reason why like people don't want to talk about the side effects is because they want it legalized, and I do think that it is like a net negative for society that people are in jail for selling it. But then again, I guess it depends on how bad you think marijuana is for society as a whole.
Now look,
Whether or not you think people should be in jail for selling it. You see what I'm saying?
Look, if I could run the pharmaceutical industry out of business overnight by legalizing marijuana, I will, because I think opiates, I think benzodiazepines, and I think things that regulate serotonin are infinitesimally worse than the side effects of marijuana. So, at the end of the day, if we can drive down the amount of people who are addicted to medications, or not even addicted, but taking them as prescribed, quote unquote, turning them into fucking zombies and fucking suicidal machine engines, I will happily take that every day. I think the pharmaceutical industry is entirely corrupt. I think the fact that they have openly admitted that the science behind chemical imbalances in the brain that are linked to depression is null to virtually non-existent. Okay, it's not a bad. It's not. You don't have a bad brain. You have a bad life. You know.
Well, yes. I mean,
maybe 1% of people legitimately have a chemical imbalance in their brain, but they're on so many fucking psychiatric medications. It's not even funny.
Yes.
I think it's disgusting. It's indefensible. And look, if I can turn a guy who's working at the plant from drinking a 12-pack of fucking poison to smoking a J before bed, I will take it. Do I think marijuana is safe ultimately? I think ultimately yes, but I think you can abuse anything. I think you can abuse food. You can abuse women. You could, but we like abusing women here.
Yeah, I think. If you're like a reckless driver, you're going like in IR already. You know what I mean? Then you're you know. So, but you should not be driving on alcohol or marijuana.
Not at all.
Or marijuana, exactly. And it is illegal, and you are more like your reaction times are slowed. So it's like, you know, it's not safe to be driving. Now, for whatever reason, so I don't know the numbers, but it might be that, you know, people high drive at the same rate that they drunk drive. And so getting all these people smoking now, you're increasing the amount of like impaired driving as a whole, which might lead. So that's another cost to legalization that, you know, I don't know the numbers on, but like, you know, it's been legal in states, so I'm sure you could look this up.
You have nothing to say, Matt?
But that's I'm just saying,
you don't want to be a part of this? Keep it going?
I'm just saying that's an important element here too to think about, like, because
Matt, but
we're already just eating the cost of alcohol related, well, really all traffic related deaths.
Well, look. And being impaired in driving is already illegal. It's already illegal.
Yes.
And people do it anyway. I don't think the legalization of marijuana is going to stop people from doing so. Matt, tell me something.
But You do, but you are going to, for a fact, increase the number of impaired drivers on the road then, by increasing the amount of people that are being impaired.
Initially, but that number might reduce.
Why?
Dude, all I'm saying is when I'm high, I don't really feel like doing anything.
Right. You don't really want to go anywhere or be driving like that.
So maybe build in an education program that explains that. Much like a college course.
Yes, maybe there should be legally required warning labels on products.
Do not drive while under the influence.
Right. But I mean, I still think it should be legal. Should it? Vince?
Dude, yes, I think it should be legal.
We might be creating new harms. Or we definitely are. It might be a net negative for society.
I don't think so, dude.
I don't know.
I don't think it'd be an ultimate net negative.
There's a lot of things to consider, and it's hard to tell.
Dude,
really.
the fact that people who live in legalized states who are doctors or any sort of medical professional are being constantly bombasted by the industry saying, like, hey, you shouldn't be prescribing the medical marijuana. You should be doing these drugs instead. If we can reduce that, if we can just stop that, I'm all for it. I'm completely all for it. Now, let's hard segue. What
do you want to talk about so bad?
Dude, I want to know Matt's stance on beating women. I want to know what he thinks about that.
Oh, yeah.
This growing trend. Now, Matt, I know you are a registered sex offender, so can you tell us what you think about that? And don't even try to dismay what I just said.
That is not true.
We gotta keep it funny.
What
That is not true.
What's not true?
Now,
Not a sex offender.
how many times should you be allowed to hit your girlfriend?
0.
What if she...
All right. In a perfect world, you wouldn't have to. But we live in reality, man.
What if she's slapping you around?
She's talking back to you. She's not making your dino nuggies.
Yeah.
She's not giving you your chalky milk. What do you do?
Okay, Matt, you're on the highway and you can't pull over, and she starts slapping you, and you think that she might grab the wheel. Are you allowed...
I will defend myself.
At that level of hysteria, but you're driving on the freeway, and this is a super dangerous situation, and she's that manic.
She's a typical millennial woman who's all up on benzodiazepines and antidepressants. She's going nuts. She's going crazy. She's addicted to social media, and every time she only gets 40 likes, she is in a depressed mode.
She's got BPD.
And you know what? She got 35 likes on this photo this day, and you're talking about how she needs to cover up a little bit more, and she just takes it out on you, Matt. What do you do?
She's got BPD, Matt, and
just play like Taylor Swift.
Your safety and the safety of others.
Or Beach House.
Okay, you try that.
It doesn't help, Matt. It doesn't.
It makes it worse. It makes it worse. Why are you pacifying me? She yells at you as she slaps you in the arm and is hitting you, telling you that you don't care about her.
Nah, nigga, she's fucking punching you in the throat. She's calling you a fucking fruit, that you're not a real man, and she should have fucked that other guy instead.
She starts choking you, and questioning your manhood.
I would not be with this kind of woman, so this would not happen.
Matt, but you
Matt,
would,
she's
though.
got BPD, Matt. You've never seen the side of her.
It's all new to you, as far as you know.
No.
Can you give her an open face slap
To knock her out?
to try and switch her, get to the other personalities, try to change the channel.
You're just trying to what do you call it? Mitigate the situation. You don't want to have to pull the gun out, man. You don't want to have to do that. You want to be sure to neutralize the situation. It's a self-defense situation. It's a kinetic situation where your life is literally in danger. You're going 80 miles an hour. You're going 80 miles an hour on the freeway on 45. Pull over and do what?
You're in a middle lane.
Yeah,
and it's heavy traffic. You can't get over.
Just de-escalate her somehow.
Yes, you're trying.
Oh, okay,
you're
okay.
trying.
I get what you're saying. De-escalate, huh?
De-escalate.
Now, how do you de-escalate without resorting to physical violence? Almost seems like it would neutralize it very fast.
So de-escalating, you just find things you agree on.
Mm-hmm.
Like just find stuff the person can say yes to.
Yes, you can fuck that guy.
What? Okay. Fine. Okay. So you.
things that are agreeable.
Uh-huh.
That way it can slowly.
We both.
Why were you liking that bitch's photos? Huh? What do you want to fuck her? Is it because I'm not as skinny as her? What? What are you doing then? Do you not like me? Do you not find me attractive? What do you mean you don't care?
That is a photo shoot she hired me for.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah. I'm a dumb bitch. I'm a dumb bitch. I'm fucking retarded. I'm going to hit you now. You deserve it. Why do you make me do this? Why do you make me do this?
How do you agree with that?
Whoa, just take it easy, man.
Find something.
Take it easy.
Find something
Take
we
it
can say
easy.
yes. Find something we can say yes to.
Man, this bitch pulls out a knife.
Matt, you would not be able to de-escalate. I think.
I think I would just yell back and be like. I think my only safe route would be play loud music.
Mm-hmm.
And just like.
Matt, you don't know the psychological effects of playing loud music to someone who's already kind of erratic, dude. I think that would just drive her up the fucking walls, dude. I think that'd make her go even crazier, man. Because I know when I'm calm and I'm listening to loud music, I get kind of primal. I get kind of animalistic. I want to fucking tear a motherfucker up. Now, let me tell you, Matt. Let me tell you the only logical solution to this entire scenario that we and Josiah keep concocting and changing the fucking parameters on. You get your hand and you stiff arm her fucking face into the goddamn windshield or to the passenger side door, and you keep it there for approximately 20 minutes until you can find a place to pull over at and kick her out. You pull your gun out and tell her if she doesn't leave that you're going to fucking blast her fucking brains open with no remorse, and you'll sleep like a goddamn baby that night. Tell her and let her know. The eyes are important. Let her know that you mean business. Now, Matt, am I wrong? A woman who's assaulting you in your vehicle, who's threatening your life? Tell me I'm wrong.
Okay, Vince, you're at your brother's wedding, and your GF starts going crazy, and she's about to ruin the whole ceremony.
Oh, hell no.
And you can't seem to calm her.
I pull her by her fucking hair. I pull her by her hair, kick her out, and be like, listen, you can call me every name in the book. You can punch me, threaten me, put needles in my head, and get a scalpel to my cock. You can do that to me all you want. But the minute you ruin my family member's special day, it is unacceptable, and you will be dealt with proportionate action. Now,
with extreme prejudice?
No, not with extreme prejudice. With proportional response. Okay. Now
Search and destroy.
Now you want to cause a scene. I'm going to cause one outside. Okay. We're gonna have to put you down, ma'am. We're gonna have to put your face in the goddamn mud and make you eat it. You know what? You might even like that, and I might just take you over to the fucking hotel and just have my way. Nevertheless, no, that is unacceptable.
It's okay to slap in that scenario.
A
little backhand.
No, but I would knee her in the groin and cunt punt her and. Maybe pull out the brass knuckles and punch her a few times in the face, but just to let her know that this is unacceptable. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, my girlfriend wouldn't do that, though. She's not stupid. I mean, not completely.
Now, you have a lot of violent thoughts towards, but usually about men.
Oh, yeah, totally. Just in general, yeah.
Yeah, but it's usually like,
I'm not kidding about any of these things. I
it's
mean
like,
everything.
That guy who plays the Flash, you want to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, but that's just because he's gay.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the fact that he's grooming children. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he's gay. That's why I want to beat his ass.
Or Matt Damon.
I like Matt Damon. I don't hate Matt Damon.
Yeah, okay, he's pretty cool.
George Clooney, though, is another different
Pete
story.
Davidson.
Oh, I wish it was him at 9/11 who got killed instead of his dad. At least his dad was a firefighter and did something with his life.
That what?
Yeah.
Davidson's dad was a firefighter.
Davidson's dad was a first responder in 9/11 and he died. And it should have been his son instead.
Yeah. Didn't he say fuck Dan Crenshaw?
I'm sure he did.
Even after he apologized to him?
Yeah, but fuck Dan Crenshaw, though, the fucking one-eyed prick.
Hey, he served, sir. He lost his eye for your freedom.
I don't care.
You better put some respect.
I don't care that he was murdering children in my name. That's fine.
You better put some respect. Yeah, he assassinated those enemies of freedom, those 14-year-old enemies of freedom for you. All right? Okay? that log looked like a fucking bomb, dude. That firewood looked like a fucking IUD. It looked like an IUD, dude. It looked like birth control. He had to kill him. I'm sorry. If you're not ready, you guys aren't ready to do what's necessary.
Bring on the memes, Matt. Bring on the memes.
You want me on that wall. You need Dan on that wall. Okay, American Sniper. He had to. But the important thing though is that he was sad about it. Okay, can we give him some credit? It's tearing him apart, Lisa. It tore him apart.
He is so right. He felt bad about it.
It tore him apart.
He felt bad about killing that child in Indonesia.
It ripped him up. He almost killed his dog, guys. You don't understand.
He almost killed his dog?
Yes, because he thought it was a terrorist. He thought it was an 8-year-old terrorist.
Terror dog.
Yeah. He thought it was a terrorist crawling on all fours.
Dude, he thought that the strap-on leash for the dog was an IED device that was set to explode.
Oh yeah, Vince. Why don't you tell us why we shouldn't be defending the innocent women and children of Ukraine, and helping them? Look, Putin. He's why we got Trump. First of all. And now he's trying to take Ukraine. We can't be letting this.
First of all,
trying to just march right into Ukraine, take Kiev, trying to take Donbass region. You can't just be taking whatever you want, son. And this President Biden, we're not gonna be letting we're not gonna be letting Putin walk all over the goddamn Western Europe.
First off, I agree with you. I think we should preserve the lives of many women and children in Ukraine. First off, if we have to have the war, then why don't the men of Ukraine defend the women and children? Second of all,
they are, Vince. They are.
They're not doing a great job at it.
We don't got now, Vince. I don't see you putting your life on the line for your country like that. You know what I'm saying? So now,
who's attacking the U.S.?
Who do you think we're giving these guns to? Goddamn guns.
The cartels.
Who do you think we're giving to goddamn Abrams? Goddamn F1, goddamn F-16s. Goddamn F-1.8s, F-1 Abrams tanks.
We're just ensuring that more women and children keep dying.
Now, Vince, Vince, I try to goddamn tell you all the goddamn time. Putin, you can't just be letting these fucking dictator fascists letting them walk all over the goddamn Western Europe. And we kind of ensured that this would happen. I'll have me one of these.
We kind of made sure it would happen, though.
Goddamn Putin's goddamn Western European buffet. Oh, I'll take me a little Kiev, give me a little side of.
Give me some of that Donbass.
Give me a little side of Donbass.
Crimea.
Let me get a little. Let me move over here to what is it? Croatia.
In Poland.
The Czech, the Slovaks.
I don't care who runs them.
Who was cuddling up to? Who was trying to get in Putin's pants over there in Western Europe? You know what I'm talking about? Croatia.
Is it Croatia?
I don't know who goddamn country was. But look, now, Vince. Why don't you explain to the American people why goddamn Putin? Why we ought to let these nuclear power? Oh, you got some nukes. Oh, he got some nukes in his nuts. He got a little radioactive jizz, and he think that he can just walk all over here, walk all over there, and just be taken. Why should we do that, Vince?
Why should the U.S. use Ukrainian people as cannon fodder to fight their war with Russia?
Because it's their land, Vince. They don't want Russia in there.
Then why don't we let them fight for their own land?
That's what they're doing. Who do you think's getting these Abrams tanks, Vince?
Why are we getting in the middle of this conflict? Why are we arming these poor idiotic Nazis with Abrams tanks and AR-15s to fight our battles for us? It's a battle of two oligarchies at the end of the day. I think it's cruel. I think it's unusual, and I think the people who started this need to be punished.
Vince, goddamn Obama, my predecessor, he spent.
Are you doing a Biden?
He spent goddamn millions hundreds of millions of dollars on superhero military propaganda. Okay, military propaganda. The whole MCU that was a psyop. Okay, now but we did that to explain to you why the U.S. of A. has got to be all up in Europe's ass, in the Middle East ass. Okay, Captain America done goddamn told you that we can't abide a bully. And that is the whole impetus. The impetus, Vince. The goddamn bullies. We done told you in the MCU movies. We goddamn told you. Putin is Thanos. He's Darth Vader. He's Hitler. All right?
Well,
now, Vince, why don't you tell Luke Skywalker why he should let Darth Vader is none of his damn business, and he ought to get back to moisture farming because you got it when the bullies come out, you got to just let them fucking run a train and just fuck everybody that they want.
Dude, you don't think it's kind of hot when bullies just kind of fucking take what they want? It's kind of hot. It's kind of nice.
Well, I rest my case then. Listen, my case.
Hitler did nothing wrong.
The
Jews are bad.
Oh yeah, why don't you tell goddamn Indiana Jones not to fight Hitler?
Indy, stop fighting Hitler.
Because, well, Indy,
stop getting caught in foreign affairs that don't concern you. Indy.
Yeah, Indy, why are you concerning yourselves with the suffering of others?
I know you hear that woman across the hall getting her ass beaten by that black guy. Don't intervene, Indy. You racist.
Okay, I rest my case, and that's why Biden's going to win on this. Because there's no case. What are the ARGs? That's an ad hominem. That's an ad hoc. Ad hoc, straw man. Ad hoc, straw man.
Sovereign citizen.
Facts don't care about your feelings. The Warhawks win. I'm sorry, Vince. We've got the moral argument. We've got Luke Skywalker on our side. And that's why the Warhawks win.
Look,
we've got Rambo on our side.
Let me tell you something.
Wait, no.
Let me tell you something.
We've got Arnold Schwarzenegger on our side.
Oh, that's true.
Military plant.
Fuck your freedom.
Yeah, get the vaccine. Give in to Skynet. What is it, Matticus?
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Fool me can't get fooled again.
Can't get fooled again.
Yeah. And fool me can't get fooled again.
All right, Vince, how excited are you about the Spider-Verse 2? And what do you know about the plot? I haven't even seen all the trailers. That's how I'm going virgin. My asshole's virgin, untapped.
Listen, would I be lying if I said I hadn't prepared and watched some Rule 34 Gwen Stacy? Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be lying to you. Would I be lying to you if I said I hadn't seen any Miles Morales Rule 34? I'd be lying to you. Have I not prepared by watching some of Miles Morales' mom's getting plowed by her big black husband?
Spider Pig and Aunt May.
Yeah, I'd be lying to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Aunt May is actually a pretty big character in the first one.
Look, let me tell you something. My level of excitement exceeds my level of excitement for Morbius, which was one of the greatest films ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it Morbin time?
Almost.
That time has passed. We're now Versin time. It's now transing time. It's now woke time. Am I going to have a good time watching the Into the Spider-Verse film? Let me tell you something. Just Jesse's already seen it.
Nuh-uh.
And he says he's excited to see it again.
Fuck.
Don't act like you've never done this before. Seen a movie that you never told us that you've seen.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I've already seen it, dude.
But yeah, I kept it a secret so that at least y'all could get the experience of us all seeing it together at the same time.
Well, that's fine. Look.
And then afterwards, you still think that I haven't seen it? And I've only seen it once, and I'm picking up on all these little things, but it's only because I've already seen it. That's awesome.
Did everyone get a ticket together or separate?
I already got your ticket. So yeah, people are saying that this should be nominated for Best Picture, and that's why
What else came out this year?
I don't even like to watch reviews because I don't want to be hearing shit like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to be hearing shit like that. Matticus, you hardly watch or have seen any movies. How excited are you for Spider-Verse?
I'm indifferent.
I've seen like 5 movies like this weekend.
I mean, we watched a little bit of Lord of the Rings. We watched 2 Lord of the Rings movies. We've seen a little bit of The Hobbit. I think I've watched up to the Battle of the Five Armies.
I watched D&D. I watched a Clint Eastwood movie. I've watched a lot of shit. Marked for Death, Steven Seagal movie. God, I need to be writing this shit down. But Dungeons and Dragons was pretty good.
Steven Seagal, did he do his Aikido?
Dude, so this movie is famous because there's a lot of shots of him running, and he has a very effeminate, like, run with his arms like out wide.
Like an Attack on Titan?
I'm doing it for them now. But, yeah, it's a very...
Like a chicken running
very
around?
weird run. Yes. Oh, but I rewatched Spider-Verse 1, and it fucking rocks. Now, as good as the animation and shit is, honestly, I think, like, sometimes too much shit is happening, and, like, I can't tell what's going on. But I think the writing is insane, because they basically treat it like Spider-Man is Jesus, and he's gone to heaven, and all the other interdimensional spider people are the disciples, and they've basically got to figure out, like, and Miles' journey is learning that, like, no, Jesus is inside of you, and, like, you do have all of his power. You can, just like Jesus told the disciples that, like, all the works that I've done you will do and more. And so, he literally can do more. He has the invisibility and
the venom punch.
The invisibility and electricity.
They comment it's like a toxin. It's like a spider toxin. It's like a venom punch.
But does he do it in the comics? He does have web shooters, but he does have the stinging. Like, he can send it down his. He can send a shock down his webs. It's
pretty cool.
Yeah, and he does do it by accident in the first one, but, like, you don't really see him shock. It's not until, like, the very end where he's fully integrated his
spider sona, his first sona.
Dude, like, they go really hard on him, like a lot of movies do it where it's like, oh, I can't, my powers aren't working until the very end, but, like, they make him suffer for it, like, really bad. Like, he overhears them talking about, like, how, like, he overhears the other spider people talking about how he can't do it, and, like, it totally fucks him up, and, like, he turns invisible. Like, the only time he can turn invisible is when he's really scared, and like, he turns invisible out of shame, basically, and leaves. And then he finds out that his uncle's the Prowler right after that, and, like, has his Dark Night of the Soul. But I think that's why he has to start using his powers, because he has to confront that, like, he could be evil too, I think. I can't remember.
His uncle is a shadow.
Yes. He has 2 dads, but his uncle dying is why he becomes a superhero, kind of.
It's his Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
But Uncle, what's his name?
Aaron.
Uncle Aaron.
Yeah.
Uncle Aaron.
So,
Uncle Aaron. I have no. Oh man, you're everything I wanted to be. You was so cool, showing me art and shit, and how cool it was in that school. Shit's for bitches, man. My dad's a piggy, and he's boring. He's embarrassing. I have no positive male role models. No role models. K-pop, Kendrick Lamar. Man, what the fuck, man? Nigga, what the fuck, man?
And they do,
man, what the fuck, man?
They do this subversion too, where it's where you think that, like, the awesome Spider-Man from, like, the Raimi movies is going to train him because they exist in the same universe together. But then he dies, and then he gets, like, this schlubby, like, washed up Spider-Man to be his mentor. Yeah, and then they kind of learn from each other. It's awesome. And then he gets
my
back
favorite
with
part when
Mary Jane.
When Schlubby Parker comes and sees him, Fat Parker. He's like, "There's two of me. I didn't know that they came in black costumes." And then Miles is like, "Man, I live from New York, nigga. Give me your Timbs, boy. Give me your Timbs, boy. Boy, I see an Asian one behind you. I'm gonna beat her monkey ass. I'm gonna beat her ass. She ain't do nothing to me. Man, I don't care, man.
Yo, where my Mary Jane at?
I need my Mary Jane.
Yo, Mary Jane looking.
I like victimizing little petite white women. Oh, this bitch got a gun? Why'd I turn to a life of crime?
Shit.
Why couldn't I have a dad?
Shit. But yeah, Spider-Verse 1 was awesome. I don't. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing I thought about Spider-Verse 1. It's a postmodern movie because it's like, oh, anybody can be Spider-Man, but it's like it's what is it? It's Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I haven't seen it.
What?
I haven't seen it, and I don't think it's a postmodern superhero movie. I think it's a quintessential superhero film.
Well,
I think at the end of the day, that's what a hero story is trying to tell you. That is that this isn't like an everyday part of the human experience, and that you must be the Ubermensch in your story.
Well, that they literally tell you that at the end, where it's like you are Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's as modern as it gets. That's as pretty.
That's what the hero's journey is trying to explain on the surface, that you're the hero, but really, you are every element of the story.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't say that you are the hero. That you are the hero, but that you should aspire to be so. That you may not be the hero.
Yeah.
You're not you're not the greatest you can be. But there needs to be some sort of symbol for the ultimate mode of man.
The only reason
the unity.
The only reason we cling to the heroes because the hero has that spark for action, that meaning and drive. Mm-hmm. So that's why we're like, oh, I'm the hero because I have that same drive and can head toward my own meaning.
But the villain, you're saying, is also
a part
a reflection of the hero.
Yes, it's a mirror of the hero, like his fears.
Mm-hmm.
Like his worst fear is his hero.
But is his
villain?
So is it the hero? So the hero's journey is really about integrating your shadow self, and that's how you're able to overcome.
I know. I don't think it's like the story about integrating your shadow self. I think it's the that if you want to and you should, it's going to be a very difficult and harrowing journey. But you must overtake it. You must undertake it.
Okay, like in a good movie, like the protagonist should have like an intangible goal, like what they really need or whatever, and then like an intangible block.
I think the best ones
to go along with the actual physical.
Have the like Spider-Man, for instance, the first Spider-Man movie. You're supposed to be met with what he wants and desires, but at the end, you're supposed to discover what he actually needs.
Yes. So the real question of like the dramatic question of Spider-Man 1 is
and they usually don't. They usually don't. The need and the want don't usually match up. Like you remember in the first sequence.
He wants to.
He wants the girl. He wants the
girl and Spider-Man, but at the end he finds out that he just decides that he can't have
Spider-Man.
both. Yeah, and that being Spider-Man means not having a. Oh, thanks, dude. That being Spider-Man means not having a GF.
I thought you were going to drink that.
And so the flip side of that question is, can I be Spider-Man? And the answer is yes. But the answer to the question of can I be Spider-Man and like have a personal life that I originally wanted, the answer to that is no.
But they're both.
But then they flip that in the sequel.
But you have to blend both of them together to have a balanced
awesome.
life.
Well, they do something interesting with it where he basically ends it where he doesn't have a balanced life. Where like what he finds out is that being Spider-Man means in the first one, being Spider-Man means not having like those kind of personal attachments because it's too dangerous.
And the second one is kind of what it is to be Spider-Man. And in the third one,
and the second one, he learns that no, you do need those.
Well, they played his ego in the second one.
Because remember, he loses his powers until he's trying to get back with MJ, and then he needs him for MJ. And it's like, oh shit!
You need to master who you are.
I actually do need.
And Spider-Man is.
I do need personal inspiration, not just the city. You know, like in order for me to do this.
Well, that's what makes the Aunt May monologue so great. There's a hero in all of us, and Peter Parker is that. Spider-Man cannot be Spider-Man if he wasn't Peter Parker.
Dude,
he would be the Green Goblin if he wasn't Peter Parker. He would be Venom if he wasn't Peter Parker.
It's literal Christianity, because it's basically saying that like God actually exists in all of us, and like if you accept that, then you can.
So the Green Goblin is Satan, is the devil.
Essentially, yeah. He wants to. He's like a Tower of Babel type thing, where it's like no. If you just have power, doesn't mean you have responsibility. Like you could actually use it just
for your own. So I always found Green Goblin to be a very Luciferian figure in the fact that his mode of being seems to be derived from desire and want and personal notoriety. All of his actions are motivated by him wanting to be that guy.
Yeah, his company. He does it to help his company at first.
So he tries to rationalize his own suffering by making it all worth it. You know, because it's kind of alluded to, like his family life is shit. He doesn't have a wife. He's single because he's poured so much time and effort into this thing that doesn't love him back. But he thinks that, you know, if I can make this happen, then my existence is worthwhile and worth it. And all the things I had to put behind were worth it.
He's a pure materialist.
Yes. So kind of like the antithesis to some sort of person who would be more of a religious or spiritual person. He really is the counter to that. And I think not a lot of people really pick up on that as much as they should. At least that's my interpretation, but I think it happens to be the right one.
No, it's definitely true. And that's why I feel like Spider-Man, I think, might be the new Superman. In terms of like the ultimate mythic figure for our time, because I was thinking about it, and like Superman, I think was originally like written in the 30s, and like there was this fascination with like the Ubermensch and like the ultimate man. I mean, there always is that fascination with like kind of the perfect being.
Yeah, the personification of Ubermensch is Superman.
Right. But I think in our century, Spider-Man might be like, he's kind of like the Ubermensch for the common man.
For a new generation.
Yes. Where it's like, we don't aspire to be something other than human anymore. You know, Superman's like an alien god.
Right. Spider-Man's more about accepting.
And Superman is kind of like this. He's like a demigod. So he's like a half god, half man being. You know what I mean? So he's kind of extra human. You know what I mean? He's not fully human. You see what I'm saying? But Spider-Man is
fully
human. Yeah. I mean, he has the powers, but you know, you have to have power. You have to have some special abilities. But that's why I'm saying, like, in the 21st century, we don't aspire to be like a mutant, or you know what I mean? Like
or Thor, we like God.
Yes, like a god, Batman. Like anything other than a human. You know what I mean?
Within the realm of possibility.
But we still have that drive for kind of the ultimate. Or the perfect,
the transcendental,
the transcendent human being. We still have that drive. It's just we in the previous century, people imagine that being that you have to have something from outside. You have to have something extra, you know, in there, rather than just a person. But then Spider-Man, But I just feel like because he's this eternal or this ever-present figure that's always popular, you know what I mean? And it can't just be the costume.
It helps. But it's how long are we at this one? About an hour?
Yeah, 105.
Well, I would say let's go ahead and cut this one short. We do have a showtime to be to. I want to be there at 6:45 so I can get my snackies, my goodies, my hot dog. Oh, actually, I'm not that hungry. We had a lot of food.
We did, but can we stop and get some
Snackies?
Yeah.
Absolutely, buddy.
I like to get some. Yeah,
A
I
little
really
bit.
like having peanut butter
Yeah, there's a gas station right by the AMC.
peanut M&Ms.
Yeah, I do need a little snacky for my movie time.
A peanut M&M, it's like a crunchy Reese's Pieces.
Yeah.
Because it's chocolate and peanut butter.
Yeah.
I love them.
When we're done watching it, we'll be sure to give you guys the full review of Spider-Man 2: Electric Boogaloo.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Gnome.
Dude, why does Spider-Man... The Spider... Like, multiverses just work better with Spider-Man. No Way Home.
He's such
Into the Spider-Verse.
He's such a vast his rogue gallery, his alternate versions of himself just kind of lend themselves so well. It's a very diverse little universe. Sony was trying to make a little Spider-Verse, but failed miserably because they're Sony.
Dude, that's what I was talking about. Spider-Verse did what I was talking about, where it's like, yes, why don't they bring in Spider allies and make movies about them?
It's so much cooler.
Like for the live action ones, like make a Black Cat movie. That could be like the Black Widow movie that we never got or something. You know, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make a
We didn't get a Black Widow movie.
We did. It sucked. But you know, like a Scarlet Spider or Venom. Well, I guess they did do Venom.
It sucked.
But that sucked.
I didn't see the Carnage movie.
It sucked.
But yeah, Spider allies. Who else does he have? He's got more.
He does have more.
Or alternate versions of Spider-Man. Do a Spider clone movie.
2099 Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, boys.
Well, I think he's in this Spider-Verse movie. All right,
Let's
guys.
get it.
That's it.
Peace.
Peace and love.